So what I wanted to ask you about as well, so should we rewind a bit and go back to Fabstract? Because I feel like a lot of the people who have come to this podcast are going to be Fabstract customers and, you know, your biggest Fabstract fans. So you went viral, didn't you, on TikTok? Do you want to tell us a bit about that? Because I think that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's one of those, you know, dream scenarios, I guess, of like overnight fame. But it was crazy because at the start, like, I just started this Etsy page with the little air fresheners, and I was like, oh well, you know, again, that mentality of if I sell one, it's more than I thought I'd sell.
Yeah.
And then a couple of my friends kind of bought them and were just like, oh yeah, this is really cute, I'm gonna get one. And I was probably making like one a week to start with.
Yeah.
So what happened was my sister commented on the small businesses video, and they were doing like small business reviews. So my sister was just like, oh, you should check out Fabstract. And yeah, she just bought something, and she was very good because she was just like, didn't expect anything for free. Like,
that's really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like she was like, if I'm gonna review it and I'm gonna have it, like I want to buy it and make a genuine review, which like you respect, because you know, I made her like an extra keyring and stuff like that as a thank you for doing it. But
that was on your terms.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to do that. There was no extra expectation. And I remember that night quite clearly, actually, because I started getting loads of notifications on Etsy that people had favorited my shop. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, I thought I'd been put on like the Etsy homepage or something like that. I was like, oh, this is fun. And what's good to know at this point is that I think I put out maybe 2 TikTok videos. I had 20 followers. I wasn't even signed in on my phone.
Oh.
So
you didn't know?
No, I didn't get a notification to start with that a video had even gone up.
Yeah.
I just started getting all of these Etsy favourites, and then orders started coming through. And I think before I went to bed, I had 13 orders.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa.
And you're making one a week at this point?
Yeah, at this point, they were like, I was averaging one a week. I think I'd had 3 at one point, and that freaked me out. And then this happened, and I got 13 before I went to bed. And I'd logged into TikTok at this point, and I saw the video. I was just like, oh my God, like she's reviewed it. And people are commenting. And
how many views did it have at this point?
So I think at this point, it maybe got to about, say, 10k by the time I went to sleep.
That's really good. So quick.
So I think at that point, she had about 250,000 followers. So this is the Quirky Dino. She's very good. Go and look
I've
at
heard
stuff.
of her.
Yeah, but like going, because my sister was obsessed with her stuff to start with, so that's how she kind of followed her and found her. And she's really lovely and is very committed to TikTok, which I commend because I can't do it.
I can't. I batched like a few videos and I'm like, oh yeah, one a day, and then I'm like 3 months later, oh.
yeah, me too. So yeah, it was actually the day after it went up that everything just went mad, and I think it kind of peaked at 1.5 million views, and it was mad. So then overnight I got about 20,000 followers on TikTok, and I think 6,000 on Instagram. And on Instagram, the post before this all happened was my 500 follower giveaway.
And then, wow.
So then,
madness.
Like 6,000 people then came over, and then they were all like entering this competition. I was like, oh, wow, this is huge. And it just kept going up and up and up. And I was freaking out a little bit because then I got orders, and what I kept doing was after every 20 orders, I'd add on a week dispatch. So they'd had to wait a longer time, but I was still like, the last batch of orders, I think they were like a 6-week waiting list.
Yeah.
But I kind of had to call it at some point because I was like, this is going to be impossible.
So how did everyone react when you were like, I've got too many orders, I need to I can't do this right away? Was everyone okay? Like the customers are alright?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of understood that it was a bit crazy, but I think they thought I'd be back next week.
Right.
It didn't come across as just like, this is going to take me 6 weeks to complete. And at this point, I actually wasn't on furlough. So I've been taken back at my old job. I'd gone back on a brand new team, brand new position.
Yeah.
Because context on that, the role I had beforehand basically didn't exist anymore. So they needed to relocate me.
Right.
So it was kind of dealing with starting a brand new team, loads of different work and experiences, as well as a video going viral. So I was working until 4 o'clock in the morning, most mornings. And then I go to bed for about 4 hours and then get up, do my work, finish, work on Fabstract, paint some pots.
Like, I feel tired just listening to it. Like, that sounds draining.
Yeah.
Especially because you've just been on furlough, having a nice time, and then BAM!
Yeah, as soon as I came back, it was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do the viral video thing now, universe. Thanks a bunch.
Wow, but that's so good.
It is good.
That's really good.
It was craziness, and it's been lovely having the support now from people that saw that video back in 2020, and they're still here now, and like some of them, like they're my mates now. I just catch up with them, and I'm just like, just because they've bought a pot and now they check in with them and like their stuff. And I think because I'm so invested in it, you see the people that come back, don't you? And you recognise names
and addresses and
and
it's so lovely, that, isn't it? When somebody comes back and buys something else, I'm like, oh yeah, like I almost want to give you like a huge hug, but I've never met you.
But I noticed people from like that first viral video that got one then, and they're still liking posts now. And there was a girl the other day that got something, and she was from Australia, and she was like, I've literally been following you for like 2 years, and or like however long I've been there, and it's like, I've been wanting one for so long, and now I've got it.
Yeah, because I feel like you're one thing to mention as well is you're very in demand for anyone that isn't very like aware of Fabstract just yet. Maybe they've not come across you, and this is the first time they're hearing about you. You sell out as soon as you bring stock out, don't you? Yeah. You can say it.
Humble. So the first time that I noticed that happen was when I was still doing all of the craziness, completing like 6 weeks worth of orders. Me being me and taking on more than I can manage was just like, well, I can't not do anything before Christmas. I can't just go stagnant, even though I know I'm working a lot behind the scenes. I didn't want to just leave it and then have nothing going on for people that have kind of followed. Because if you think, out of nowhere I got 6,000 followers, there was a lot of people that had messaged me asking like, oh, when's your next restart, when are you doing something? So I wanted to do something for Christmas, so I did Christmas baubles-esque. I did the same thing this year as well. I want it to be an annual thing because I really love them. I decided, right, I'm only doing this amount, and they'll be this price, and they'll go at this time. That's what's happening. And I made a big announcement about it. I was like, probably like, these are going out 6 p.m. And by 6:01, they'd gone.
Goals.
That is amazing.
That is what we thrive for, isn't it? It's like, it's just incredible.
That was the first time that I was like, okay, this is bigger than I realise it is now. And it happened when I came back in January. I did a big thing. I was like, right, okay, we're back. Like, we're coming back. And I'd learnt from the time before in November. I was like, I can't just let it be a free-for-all again. I need a bit of a structure. So I decided I was going to come back and do weekly restocks, but there was only a certain amount. And at this point, we're still in lockdown. So if we remember, you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't do anything. So my weekends were literally dedicated to Fabstract. All day Saturday, I would paint them. All day Sunday, I would turn them into air fresheners and make the hangers. Like, I had a bit of a structure. And each week, again, it would be 6:01 or like 6:02. Within
minutes.
Literally within minutes, they'd still go.
I love that for you. I
do.
Love that for you.
That is what we want to hear.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Yeah.
It is. It's madness, and I think I still can't comprehend that happened to me. Yeah. And that I actually did that, and I kept doing it, and I think I had to, when lockdown started to ease and you could have a bit of freedom again, I had to reevaluate it, and I'm like, I can't dedicate my whole weekends to this anymore, because I literally, it wasn't just work in the day, work in the evening, it was work all day on the weekends.
Yeah, you've not got any time for yourself, yeah.
No, and the guilt would seep in, that I felt like if I did anything that wasn't work, then that's not productive, because why would I do that because I would go outside, I'd literally be in Aldi thinking, I could be painting pots right now.
Yeah.
That's where it can get quite toxic, I think, and that's the capitalist world that we live in, where we think we're not worthy if we're not working. Grind,
and
but you're not living your life.
Like, toxic girl boss culture. The whole girl boss culture started from like a very positive outlook of being like we can do it as well. Like, we can do this. We can be the CEOs. We can be the owners of these businesses. Yeah. This is amazing. Let's work. Now we're thriving to work, and it started getting more like, we need to work all the time. We need to hustle girl boss, hashtag girl boss, hashtag hustle, or hustle is the grind. And then we kind of lost the sense of having lives.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, well, if you're not working 24/7, then you're not working hard enough. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah. And
that's not maintainable.
It's not.
You get burnt out and it's not maintainable at all.
I'd rather never work a day in my life than work 24/7.
Oh, yeah. I mean
obviously
dreams of labour.
I think we all would.
But like, I would not care what anyone thought. I'd be like, yeah, I'm enjoying myself. Obviously, I'd have to get money from somewhere. Lottery, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna manifest.
Yeah.
I think you.
For me as well, the pressure never came from money, which is a thing to consider. I didn't go, oh, I really want to make a load of money, so I'm going to keep doing and keep putting more on.
Yeah.
I think it came from the pressure I put on myself from the demand.
For your customers as
because,
well.
Yeah, because I got the messages being like, oh, I really love your products and I'd like to get one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I'll do more, because then you've got more chance of getting one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a people-pleasing narrative, I guess.
Yes, massively.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important thing, that for me, the money was never the driver. And I think I get that question a lot, like, oh, well, like, oh, how much money did you make? Or I bet you made a load of money. Remember when it went viral, they were still on low prices. Like, I was not making a good margin at all.
Right.
And I was working all the time. Like, it's better now. It's still not, like, ridiculously, like, I'm not having, like, 90% profit at all. Because a lot of the money is my time.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they all take a really long time to make and craft.
I think that's what makes them so special, though. It really is.
Yeah, and I think I've had to learn to value that, and that people do value the fact that you've put time into it. Because I think at the start, as you do, you compare to yourself to stuff that's selling in shops. It's like, oh, well, that's a painted pot and that's only selling for £3. So maybe mine's £3.
A machine's probably making it.
Yeah.
10 every second.
Yeah, but you don't think about that when you're doing it. You think
Yeah.
like, oh, well, people only pay £3 for them, so they'll only pay that for mine.
Yeah.
Which is not the case, because I've learnt now that people will pay for it because they do respect you. And
Yeah, they value it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really
and that's
do.
the kind of customers you want as well.